Hey guys, what's up in this video? I'm gonna compare the specs and features of the HTC One M8 versus Sony Xperia Z2. So these two smartphones are currently the top dogs of both of the companies, their flagship phones. So first of all, I'm gonna start off with the displays. We get a 5.0-inch display on the HTC One M8 versus a 5.2-inch display on the Sony Xperia Z2, slightly higher display as compared to the 5.0-inch display of the HTC One M8, and the resolution of the both of the displays are 1080p. And also in terms of the PPI, we have a 441 PPI, slightly higher PPI on the HTC One M8 versus a 424 PPI on the Xperia Z2, whereas the Xperia Z2 has an IPS LCD display, whereas the HTC One M8 has a Super LCD 3 technology display. And also in terms of the design, we have glass on the Sony Xperia Z2 versus aluminum on the HTC One M8, whereas the Sony Xperia Z2 is a water as well as dust resistant phone as certified by IP58, whereas the HTC One M8 is not a waterproof phone. And also looking at the software, we have Android 4.4.2 KitKat on the HTC One M8 with the Sense 6.0 UI, and also we have the Android 4.4 KitKat on the Sony Xperia Z2 with Sony's own Timescape UI. And in terms of the weight, we have a 160 gram of weight on the HTC One M8 versus a 163 gram of weight on the Sony Xperia Z2. Usually Sony Xperia smartphones are very slim with sleek design, but this time the Xperia Z2 has actually heavier weight, even though you have used the glass instead of aluminum on the HTC One M8, but still the weight is heavy as compared to the HTC's One M8. So in terms of the dimensions, we have 9.35 millimeter thickness on the HTC One M8 versus a almost 1 millimeter less 8.2 millimeter thickness on the Sony Xperia Z2. Looking at the camera, we have a 4 megapixel camera with the twin sensor and dual LED flash on the HTC One M8 versus a 20.7 megapixel camera with LED flash on the new Sony Xperia Z2. And also the most good feature of the Sony Xperia Z2 is that the CMOS image sensor, autofocus and other stuff. But still, we don't get the optical image stabilization on both the devices. Both devices have digital image stabilization with additional effects like geotagging, digital zoom, burst mode, HDR, and stuff like that. And also we have another companion duo camera on the HTC One M8, which we're gonna focus on specific things if you want, add more effects. So which is a very fancy thing. And also in terms of the video recording, we have a 1080p HD video recording on the HTC One M8. No word about the 4K. So on the other hand, the Sony Xperia Z2 can record a 4K video as well as 1080p HD video at 60 as well as 720p video. And also in terms of the front-facing camera, we have a whooping 5 megapixel front-facing camera which has the ability to record a 1080p HD video on the HTC One M8, whereas we have a 2.2 megapixel front-facing camera which can also record a 1080p HD video on the Sony Xperia Z2. Under the hood, we do get the same Snapdragon 801 processor with same clock speed, 4 cores clock at 2.3 GHz with that very same GPU, Adreno 330 GPU. But the difference here is in terms of RAM. We have a 2 GB of RAM on the HTC One M8 versus we get a 3 GB of RAM on the Sony Xperia Z2. And in terms of the built-in storage, both devices have 16 GB of built-in storage, and both devices have micro SD slot option for the storage expansion up to 128 GB. In terms of the battery, we have 2600 mAh battery on the HTC One M8, whereas we get a 3200 mAh battery on the Sony Xperia Z2. Now, there's not a big difference between the displays, 5-inch, 5.2-inch, but still Sony has put a better battery as compared to the HTC's 2600 mAh battery, which is a slight upgrade from the 2300 mAh battery of the previous HTC One. And in terms of the availability, the HTC One M8 is currently available. It's currently available on all major carriers: Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, and AT&T, but not T-Mobile. But soon on T-Mobile, whereas the Sony Xperia Z2 is currently announced and will be available soon in April, releasing official in whole world, and it will be upcoming on T-Mobile. So yes, thanks for watching, guys, and subscribe for daily tech videos, news, rumors, and more stuff. And like this video if you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Peace out.